Hello everyone and welcome to CASCAR. My name is Noah Walter and you're joining me live here for the Schroeder Plumbing 154 throwback race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The track that just recently got changed up in real life, and the changes have not yet reflected here on iRacing. The banking done completely differently now in real life, and just about everything is changed up as much as possible. But we are here tonight in this historic racetrack to put on a fantastic throwback race and put off our first playoff race, actually. So that's it. We are now in the playoffs officially. 12 drivers going to be sitting up at the top, going to be competing to see who can get that championship as fast as possible. That is going to be the question, is who can get it. So we're looking along here at historic Atlanta there. I mean, really, we are in a fantastic place here in the CASCAR Cup Series. It's going to be a great race here, Atlanta, this 1.54-mile track. These guys are going to be racing very hard against each other because it's high speeds, and the track is an absolute monster when it comes to tire wear. I mean, this track will just absolutely destroy your tires. And it's going to be making something very interesting out of pit strategy at that. Relating back to that, I mean, we're going to try to keep the cheese grater references to a minimum, referencing a real NASCAR there, so we want to make sure we cut back on that. However, as we are here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, we do want to make sure everyone has a good time out here. So thank you to everyone that has already showed up and joined in our chat. Excited to get this race off to a fantastic start very shortly here at Atlanta. Got to give a huge thank you to our sponsors. That is, of course, going to be Schroeder Plumbing, first up, who has been in business for over 50 years in southeast Wisconsin. I mean, just the immense amount of care and stuff that they put into all their services is just absolutely insane. So they specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders who they will work with and their own individuals hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. Give them a call with their office number over at 262-971-0401. That number is 262-971-0401. Thank you once again to Schroeder Plumbing for giving us our fantastic Cup Series, where we're able to demonstrate the racing prowess of several drivers here in CASCAR. With that, though, let's go and go through our grid order here at Atlanta. Starting on front row, it is going to be Rob Carl in the number 2, whose car is going to be a red number 8 here tonight. We're going to make sure we correct that a little bit later on, and we'll make sure we reference that every time we see him. With Stephen Black going to be starting alongside in the 98. Second row, inside lane, is going to go to Matt Stewart, subbing in once again for Kyle Mundell. Not the throwback scheme that I believe Kyle was going to be running. However, it is a throwback at that, so we're happy to see it. Jeffrey Bilk going to be starting in 4th position on the outside of row number 2 in the 55. Row number 3, inside lane, is going to be going to Brian Fradian in the 81 with Paul Ems alongside in the 28. Row number 4 brings up the 7th and 8th position of Will Cloud and Brandon Fiedler, who are now teammates in Equipment Geek Racing. For row number 5, it is going to be Wes Gallo in the 07 with Greg Snellgrove alongside. All playoff drivers here, as you can see, many P's on that list. Row number 6, inside, is going to go to Patrick Coluccio in 11th, running the 18, and then Tyler Hallahan alongside in the 88 in 12th. Row number 7, inside lane, is going to go to the 42 of Michael Sparks with Cody Snyder in the 4 alongside. Row number 8 is going to go to Sylvan Seguin and Mark LaPierre. And we have a continued field here tonight, which is great to see. Then in 17th position in row number 9 is going to be Matt Malavagna in the number 3 with Richard Drake in the 41 alongside in the 18th. Then finally, rounding out our field, it is going to be in 19th position, Michael Jennings. Then our 2 drivers that either, I do believe, got disqualified from qualifying because the new system has been very sensitive to the cars. The 20 of Brady Floyd and the 44 of Daniel Sparks. Once again, thank you to absolutely everybody that has showed up to our race. We have quite a race in store for you here tonight. That number 2, which is actually a number 8 Budweiser car, going to be leading us off on the green. Got to give also a huge thank you to Pierce Graphics, who puts together our overlay packages. They're allowing us to see the fantastic racing we got here tonight. Bit of a break we've had here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. It's good to be back. And it's also important to make sure you take those breaks every now and then so you don't get sick of racing so quickly. With that, though, we're going to be running out of turn number 4 now with the iRacing.com pace truck pulling off as we head towards the restart zone. Wait for it. It's green flag. There it is. It wanted to be extra late today. A lot of moves already done here on that first lap. Incredible driving out of all these guys. You love to see it. Just the instant spread out. You can see the chaos that is the restarts and starts with stock car racing. You just got to love it. Rob Carl continues to lead so far here at Atlanta as we're now on lap number 2. 50 laps is going to be our stage. Stephen Black, we've not seen in a little bit. Has not been running full-time this season. Currently running in second position with a pseudo Kellogg's paint there. Classic Hendrick number 5, but is altered to fit his sponsor needs, which is great to see. It's good to see Stephen back though, but Rob Carl there in the 8, that's actually supposed to be a 2, currently leading there. And you can see our playoff drivers are going to be the ones with that Schroeder Plumbing blue banner, spoiler, and front lip. So you can keep an eye out for that. If you don't instantly know who your playoff drivers are, you can see them right there. And starting next week, we should have a little indicator on the overlay as well that allows you to see it a bit easier. Under a blanket, your top 3 are, though. I mean, these guys have just been on top of each other already. I know it's only a short amount of time in, but it is great to see these guys being very competitive already. The high lane is the place to be here at Atlanta. It's long runs. It's not a short race. So these guys have to be competitive with each other, and the high lane is always going to be the place to be. Jeffrey Belk going to be sticking up on the outside of Stephen Black there, the number 55. Let's see, he's doing a throwback to Greg Biffle there. So Paul Lems is starting to close in as well. Steven's stuck on that bottom. His tires are going to be dissipating fast as he now pulls up to the outside to try to save him some bit more. That is the game that all these guys are going to be running, is the outside as much as they possibly can to save their tires. But when you want to get a move done, you got to pull down to the bottom and push as hard as you can. Stephen Black now fading through the field a little bit. It seems, like I said, that tire really makes a huge difference even after just a few laps as he's already beginning to fall back. This is the point where the tires no longer are sticky and you got to hold on to it for dear life for the next 20 or so laps. 65% fuel capacity these cars run at here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, making this a lot more interesting when it comes to strategy. Following along with the number 28 of Paul Ems there. That's the Tony Stewart throwback. The 28 Home Depot car. Following along with him. You can see right now he's trying to get himself into a good position as he's running in 5th place. Currently on the inside of the Silver Bullet mock-up there. Currently run by Brandon Fiedler. As I said before, 12 cars are in the playoffs. That number is going to be dwindling fast, so if a playoff driver can win this, they're going to be in some fantastic position later on. But the question is how long will they be in that? Uh-oh, Wes Gallo in the wall in the 07. I hear the wrecking behind, but it looks like he got it under control. Bit of a big bump in there on the rear bumper and spoiler. That is not going to be good for Wes. That is going to be slowing him down significantly, and at a power-hungry track like Atlanta, that's not good. This tries to catch it and hold on as they get around him. Doing okay for now, but that is going to be unfortunate for Wes Gallo and his collider, which I do believe is the 48 of Will Cloud there. Both these guys run under the Equipment Geek banner, in at least technicality for Wes Gallo there, who's technically on the Fisher Sport team, but they all work together, so I have a feeling that that is not very good in terms of the team right now. However, they still got a long way in this race left to go. Only about a tenth of the way in. Uh-oh, and that is going to be the 42 of Michael Sparks pulling down as they wreck down the backstretch. Brady Floyd involved in slow. Caution still has not flown yet, still not flying. I believe that's because Brady Floyd is moving and the 42 of Michael Sparks is wrecked on the bottom. Brady is going to have to wheel it back to the garage and fast so he doesn't get too far down. It's going to be a close one. Michael Sparks heavily damaged, though. I believe he just lost it off of turn number 2. It's a pretty big transition going back onto the back straightaway, so I'm not too surprised that it didn't take too long until someone lost it off there. Mark Lapierre rolls by. I believe he did miss the start. Rob Carl, though, trying to run away with this race, and he is absolutely succeeding so far, as now Jeffrey Belk has continued to hold up second. Whoa! Collision into Stephen Black, sends him careening down the track. Slides back up, he catches it, he pulls down to the apron so that he stays out of the way. He was just absolutely denied that position. That is going to be putting him now way further back than I think he ever wanted to be. That's going to have to be a really big recovery drive. But if anyone can do it, we know that Stephen Black can. We'll have to keep tabs on that as we continue to roll forward here in the Schroeder Plumbing 154. Catching back up to your main pack, though, Rob Carl now is about a second ahead of the rest of the pack. That is absolutely insane. The thing that he has not fully considered, though, is the draft that the second pack of cars you're seeing right here, that is going to be headed up by Belk and brought up at the rear by Matt Stewart there in the 34. These guys have draft. Rob Carl does not. However, these guys also are going to be slowing each other up, racing for positions. They want to all fight for them. Get as far forward as they can. 55 and the 39 out now to second and third, but Paul M's riding that bottom. That is a very interesting strategy to have. The bottom is not usually the place you want to be here in Atlanta because it just completely destroys your tires, but that 28, he's keeping it there on the bottom. Slides back up there. I think he was let in by his teammate up to the top because he knows that it won't be long until Paul's tires just disappear. Looking to the inside of the 39, I think he may be trying to race for this position, get up into the top 3, and then just defend for his life as they roll forward. Call back to the silver bullet that Brandon Fiedler is running with some Schroeder Plumbing branding instead of Good Wrench. Back to Dale Earnhardt. Greg Snellgrove, though, not throwing it back to a NASCAR driver, but instead to himself. That is actually his Season 1 of CASCAR stock car that he raced, and the car that he won the first season championship with. So he's been on another championship hunt after not getting it last season. He wants to get it again this time. I think he's hoping to, here in this first playoff race, that the luck will roll if he runs this paint. So he's got that for now. We're going to see how that goes as he skims the wall there off of turn number 2. His teammate there of Tyler Hallahan not too far behind in the 88 DTT. Dale Jr. throwback. Got a few of those here out in the field. Lovingly recreated for Tyler. We Designs did a whole bunch of these paint schemes that you see out there, as did Skylord Graphics, so it's not too surprising that we're seeing a lot of great ones out there. Those guys are definitely good at what they do. And there is another paint scheme we see there that's been done by those guys. The 18 of Patrick Coluccio, who was actually leading in practice. That's right, you heard me right. Patrick Coluccio was sitting atop of the practice board before we got into qualifying. And right now, he's actually running quite well up here in the top 10. He's running in the playoffs. He wants to do well. And right now, it looks like he's got the car to do it. He's just got to make sure he manages that tire wear and keeps his car headed straight. But running at 9th, it's not too bad of a place to be. Richard Drake into the wall there. Actually, after seeing what I have so far this race, Richard Drake has been struggling. His qualifying run was not where he wanted it to be. But now Jeffrey Belk has fallen back just a little bit now to this pack. That's going to be Paul M's now as he's been running the bottom. He's got those faster times, which will start disappearing pretty soon, I'm sure of it. As he now goes to the inside there of that 55. Can he get by? That is the question we have to ask here for Paul M's. Looks like he might just be able to within the next lap or so. See, now that he's gotten himself back up into 3rd position, he has not lost any positions. Actually, wait, I'm sorry. He's gained 3. But if he can get himself up into 2nd, he continues to battle for Jeffrey Belk. real side-by-side action we're seeing out of these guys. Can he hold on to it? I mean, I know I keep saying that, but that really is the question, is can he hold on to it? It is a difficult feat to do when you have a car like that at this kind of track. They just do not like to cooperate. The question is how long can he do it? Well, heading back through your field now, we're going to go to the driver currently the lead car a lap down. That's going to be the 20 of Brady Floyd. I believe he had to take a fast spare, as you can see him running by himself. Hopefully under this, actually maybe he didn't. I don't know. He hit that wall very hard. But he was actually the winner of the last race we had. That was going to be at iRacing Super Speedway. He won that against Kyle Mundell in the 34 by .002 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. That was an incredibly close race and a great watch. But Brady has a pretty big recovery drive ahead of him, as he did have to take his faster pair, it does look like. Speaking of recovery drive, Stephen Black, after that collision, has gotten himself right now running in 10th ahead of his teammate, Sylvan Seguin. See how long it's going to take him to get back up into the top 5. Headed back up now, we see Jeffrey Belk has started to pull away once again from Paul Ems as they all start to run at the bottom a bit more now. I think the strategy might be changed a little bit. All very close to the wall as well. Paul Ems pulls down to the bottom again. Still trying to get that position. See Greg Snowgrove behind that 55 there in the 22. Another block there for Tyler onto the 34 of Matt Stewart. Once again subbing in for Kyle Mundell. Matt Stewart should be joining us full-time next season, which will be great to see. Love the fresh faces here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Paul Ems currently has the second position over Jeffrey Belk as they race now into turn number 3, but it looks like Belk had it once again. This is a close one. How long can they keep it up for, especially after they have to pay in for tires, because I don't believe they can make it to the end. Rob Carl, though, currently 2 seconds ahead of the competition. Running a car number he's not really supposed to be able to, as they're 3 wide in the back. Snowgrove into the wall, collides into Hallahan behind. As we look back through the field, oh, and Brandon Fiedler collected as well. Greg Snowgrove continuing to fall back. In the 22's hit of the wall off of turn number 2. Collides into his teammate, the 88 of Tyler Hallahan, sending them both to the rear. That is an unfortunate incident. We're going to rewind and make sure we get a nice, good perspective of that incident, because, wow, a bit unexpected, especially with these guys. So we'll be right back and see what's going on here at the Schroeder Plumbing 154. All right, we got your incident queued up here. We're going to go ahead and bring that up now as we head on in. You can see there that 22, Greg Snowgrove, he's going to be pushing it 3 wide here. Yep. There he goes for the 3. They're now 3 wide. He's up on top. Jeff trying to keep it down there because he knows that the netcode is kind of infamous sometimes as Paul comes up too. That is a tight fit. Snowgrove can't really do too much. Yep, he just gets loose off of turn number 2. No pull from himself and just pulls down straight into his teammate. There, the 88. A bit of a collision there onto the 34 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Richard Drake slides up to try to avoid it. Into the wall. Brandon Fiedler slams into the back of him because he pulled up so hard fast into the wall there for Drake as well. Does not help things. However, these guys are not too damaged, it does look like, thankfully. Although there is definitely going to be some tires for Tyler Hallahan there, as he did slide very significantly, as you got to see. Jumping back up to real time, we can see now Rob Carl still has the lead there in the number 8, and Jeffrey Belk is still in second. This is that really weird limbo time between pit stops. You know, you have to wonder because of the stage break, do you pit now or not? It's so close. Probably is just a fuel stop for a lot of the guys that are going to be going in, just because of how difficult it is to really make a good strategy call. Still an absolutely unfortunate incident. That's going to thin out your second pack just a little bit. However, that's if the second pack begins to form again, because as we got to see, what an event it was for these guys. Rob Carl just absolutely pulled away, but Jeffrey Belk, Paul Ems, Snowgrove when he was still up there, Coluccio, Drake. I mean, all these guys were racing so hard with each other up at the front. I think this is going to be a real big race, not just for second, but to keep all the top 5 positions. It is going to be an intense one. See the 18 of Patrick Coluccio here, currently running in 4th. And Paul Ems currently running in 3rd. Previous teammates, those two were. Patrick Coluccio now on the team Grand River Racing. However, that is a bit incorrect insignia there up on the front bumper. Drake there currently running in 5th. Good to see him up here. I think he finally has his track figured out a bit more. It looks like he was definitely struggling earlier on, but he's got it now. How long will he be able to hold on to it, though, especially with a bit of damage he has in the rear? All right, I think these were going to be all the guys that have stayed out for you, did not want to go in. So with that, lights on the pace car are going to be out now. As you get the field beginning to stack up. It's going to be Jeffrey Belk alongside Rob Carl here on this next start. Behind them, it is going to be Patrick Coluccio and Paul Ems. And further behind, it is going to be Richard Drake and Matt Stewart. A great race we're going to have here on this next start. Remember, lap number 50, halfway, is going to be our yellow. So keep an eye out for that one. Brady Floyd back onto the lead lap, as it looks like just about everybody else is, minus Michael Sparks. Thank you once again to Schroeder Plumbing for sponsoring not only this race, but our entire series. You guys have done great for us, and I know that everyone here greatly appreciates it. Check out Schroeder Plumbing in Southeast Wisconsin. They do great work. Pace truck is off, though. Wait for it. It's green flag. Great restart out of your top 3. Rob Carl, Jeffrey Belk, Paul Ems, all right there with each other. I think these are going to be your real top 3 that you're going to be seeing vie for the top positions. Everybody else right now seems like they could really be just about anywhere else, depending on how the race continues to run. Just look at the speed, though, that Rob Carl has. He just has that wheel under so much control, able to just keep those tires saved, and that's the kind of start you get when you do that, though. I mean, you just get to do some absolutely amazing things when you have good car control and a lot of speed behind you. A lot of practice, too. Continue to race 2 wide. These guys are Paul Ems. They're stuck on the bottom once again to Jeffrey Belk as they continue to run here. Patrick Coluccio still has that 5th place position. Battling, here's some wrecking behind me and some tire sliding. Who's involved? Whoa, Brady Floyd just avoids it. It's Cody Snyder there in the 4. The caution flies once again. Wes Gallo looks involved as well. We're going to make sure we rewind and take a look and see what happened there off of turn number 2. All right, we got your incident here. Let's go ahead and see just what happened. Follow along with the 07 of Wes Gallo there off turn number 2. It looks like, just again, he just loses the car, slides up just a little bit, barely avoids Will Cloud there. Greg Snellgrove, nowhere to go, plows into the rear. See him lose his hood there as Wes goes down the track, collides into the 4 of Cody Snyder, absolutely sends him rolling again. That has been several races now where he just hits a wall and just ends up or somebody just really gets spinning, or even up into the air bit as he did there. Unfortunate for these guys. I mean, that is going to be almost race ending in terms of, amount of damage. I mean, especially if they've been previously involved, as we know Wes was. I don't think he took his fast repair before, but if he did, he is absolutely in for it now, as he's going to have to pay up for that kind of mistake. Looks like he did have his fast repair still left. That's good for him. He's taking it now. He's got to play this race a lot more safely, as does Cody Snyder, though, as he is also going to be in trouble for that one. Greg Snellgrove, though, did not have a fast repair after his previous incident off of turn number 2. That is going to be putting him in a very unfortunate position right now, having to pit a long time for repairs. Not the start to this race that he wanted. With that, though, let's go and bring up somebody that has been doing real well so far here tonight. Let's go and bring up Paul Ems in the number 28 Home Depot Chevrolet. I mean, what a race he's had here so far tonight. Paul, it's an open booth. Do you read me? Currently running in 3rd position. You have been doing a great job keeping it up here so far. What's your secret? Makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, how have you been able to keep it on the bottom for so long? I mean, that is really the biggest thing I'm surprised at. Makes it, yeah, I mean, still, that's very impressive and a great thing to see. What do you have to say to your competition?
Like I said, if I can get by Jeff here, that would be fantastic, and then hopefully get a stage win.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to have to let you go. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car?
Thanks to the team. We put in a lot of practice for this one. Obviously, trying to save tires is a huge thing, and there's some technique to it. So a lot of practice with the team, but yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thank you much for your time, Paul. I do appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 28 of Paul Ems in the Home Depot Chevrolet. Apologies. Thank you for letting me know about the audio issues. That does happen sometimes. I do a weird reset in Discord for that one, but anyway, we got it all fixed up. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. With that, though, the lights on the pace car are going to be out here at Atlanta. Rob Carl, once again, going to be starting on the front. Jeffrey Buck alongside Paul Ems there in 3rd. Great community, all the guys here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. I mean, you can just drag any one of them up here, and they're all glad to see you. I mean, and that's the really great part, is just having a group of people excited to race, ready to race at all times. Even the tracks that we dread a little bit, it's good to see everybody ready to go. So if there's a driver you want to see me speak to, make sure you go ahead and mention it out in the chat. And next caution we have, or even during a run, I might just bring him up. So you see some heavy damage there on the 22 of Greg Snellgrove. He's the one missing the front. This race is going to be very hard for him. Playoff driver. Nice. Playoff driver is bringing up your 1st through 5th position. You can see all there with the blue spoilers. With that, though, the Irishman.com pace car pulls down pit road. We follow along with Rob Carl as we head into the restart zone. It's green flag. Almost 3 wide we're seeing there for some of these guys as they continue to run 2. Brandon Fiedler, a lot of speed there on that bottom. He's got that bottom ring figured out just that little bit as he tries to suck up behind Paul Ems. Can't do it. Loses the draft, has a slide up, blocks Patrick Coluccio from getting on by. And that's Stephen Black we're seeing there in the 98 making his return. He was up here earlier on, but got collided into and essentially sent to the rear under green. He is not too happy about that one, but he's made his recovery drive. I said he would, and he has. A non-playoff driver at that 98 car is. He has not made enough races this season. Very close between Drake and Paul Ems there, though, as they now continue to race on through. And I think, oh, don't tell me a commentator cursed him again. Paul Ems losing a little bit of speed there on that bottom. Doesn't have the run I think he wanted. However, Rob Carl not instantly pulling away as hard as he has previously. He's actually got Jeffrey Belk there still on his rear end. No pulling away. It's still going to be close. Drake looking down there at the bottom in that third row. Any kind of difference you can make, this is the time to pull them, especially before the stage, because your tires are just going to be absolutely gone very shortly. Thank you once again to absolutely everyone that has joined us out here tonight, here at the Schroeder Pulling 154 at Atlanta. Rob Carl has so far led every single lap there in the 2/8 Budweiser Camaro, with Jeffrey Belk trailing along in second for most of this race. Brandon Fiedler got himself back up into third. However, Stephen Black is making a hard charge now as he takes up the bottom in the 98. He's going to be definitely getting it very soon. Yep, they're side by side. He gets it across the line. Welcome to the chat, Kyle. Great to see you. Thank you much for tuning in on the way back home from the break. Good to see. Jeffrey Belk closing in to Rob Carl once again. You can see that time has just been remaining very consistent. Rob unable to pull away like he has previously, and it looks like now with Jeff in the Giraffe, he might have just enough pace to overtake before the stage. Stephen Black, though, has that third place position. He's been chopping up through the field. His tires are going to be worn. However, he's got a lot of speed behind that number 98 Premier Graphics. Premier Racing Setup. Apologies, Skylord Graphics. Number 98. He's got the number 5 Hendrick scheme on. Brandon Fiedler continuing to run up in that high lane. You can see that lane has actually really changed up. It's no longer at the very high line. It's actually moved down to the middle. Minus Steven, it's playoff drivers 1st through 7th. Will be rounded out by Richard Drake. Currently, your lowest playoff driver is going to be Michael Jennings, currently running in 19th. Rob Carl begins to pull away now from the rest of the pack as they cross the start-finish line. It's going to be 10 laps now until the stage yellow. Heading back in our field just a little bit, we see the number 81, Brian Fradienne. He's running a Steve Park Shark Pennzoil. I believe that was run at Homestead quite a many years ago. Rebranded with Victos. It's 11th ahead of his kind of teammate Wes Gallo in the 07. The Great Compromise actually is what Wes is throwing it back to there in the 07. That was the compromise between Richard Petty and STP. Put some Dayglow orange on the car, and they have. So, to emulate that for the 1972 season, now here in 2022, Wes Gallo threw it back. Sylvan Seguin looking to hopefully make some more positions up as he runs in 13th right now ahead of Will Cloud in the 48, who has not repaired his damage from when he last hit Wes Gallo, if I'm not mistaken. Battle for position now between the 39 and the 28. That is going to be Brandon Fiedler and Paul Ems. There's not too much time until the stage flies. Substitute driver for Kyle Mundell, the number 34, Matt R. Stewart, currently running in 8th position ahead of Matt Malavagna there and the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. They are leading right now ahead of Hallahan, Fradienne, and Gallo, and Seguin and Cloud not far behind either. Hallahan, who has been collided into at least twice by now. I believe after that second time he was able to get some very minor damage from that. But he has a pretty good car right now in the BTT number 88. He's got a good race at him. Should have seen it earlier, Kyle. Matt R. Stewart was actually running really well, and he was running right up at the front. So he's got a lot of speed there in that number 34 Camel Chevrolet. So we're going to have to keep a sharp eye on that one, as he actually begins to close up the rest of the field now. Patrick Coluccio running in 7th position there in the 18. Currently on the bottom, as he's now beginning to close up the leaders. Jeffrey Bilk still has a commanding 2nd place right now, ahead of Brandon Fiedler, who was able to overtake Stephen Black. I believe he burned up his tires just a little bit too much, and that 98 just does not have the pace anymore I believe he wants. 5 laps to go until our yellow. It's lap number 46. Richard Drake trailing right behind that 98 now. Richard Drake has had a very interesting relationship from this track so far that we've seen today. Just has not been running at the top of his game, and I think now he's finally got this track figured out. He's got the long runs that I think he's been desiring. That short run speed, he just does not have that from what we've seen. But now as he looks to the inside as Stephen Black, he might be able to get himself a 4th place finish here in this next stage if he can hold on to it. Matt Stewart now up into 6th position, up 2 places since I last mentioned. Like I said, he's been on the move. Paul M's falling back now into 7th after burning up his tires quite a fair bit. Your leader, though, Rob Carl, has a commanding lead over this race by almost almost 0.4, I would say, of a second right now. In his number 8 Budweiser, that's actually supposed to be a number 2. Still an absolute commanding lead, as I said. He has had this track figured out. See how that goes once the stage ends. Maybe Jeff can have some Mickey Mouse speed come in at the last second and overtake and get himself a stage win. Either that or something real big is going to happen behind. We're going to have to watch out and see just what happens here in these last few laps. Battle for 4th right now taking place. Still, that's going to be Stephen Black and Richard Drake, but it looks like Drake just did not have the speed to get it, as now Stephen has a solid grip on it. That's now going to be Matt Stewart in contention to get that 5th place finish in the stage as he begins to close up. However, it's going to be a close one. That much is sure. 3 wide down the backstretch, you can see him go. Coluccio stuck up on the high side. Going to break up a bit more now. That's Tyler Hallahan we're seeing there, starting to make a bit move forward, currently running in 9th position as Paul Ems has fallen back into 10th. Well, this is it. This is the white flag for your stage. This is where all the marbles are on the line. Jeffrey Belk losing pace right now as he runs in 3rd position. It's Brandon Fiedler in 2nd, Jeffrey Belk in 3rd, Stephen Black on the bottom for Richard Drake for battling for 4th. Who can get it? Brandon Fiedler skims the wall in the high line. Jeffrey Belk pulls it down to now as they go through the quad oval here at Atlanta. It is going to be Rob Carl taking it. Jeffrey Belk, Stephen Black, Brandon Fiedler, Richard Drake, Matt Stewart, Matt Malavagna, Coluccio, Hallahan, Ems. The caution flies here at Atlanta for the Schroeder Plumbing 104. Rob Carl is your stage winner. What a commanding lead he has had over this race. I mean, just wow. We keep a sharp eye on him here after the 2nd stage, as we see everybody going to be pulling in for pit stops very shortly. .28 Hyundai rating, and a very competitive car, it seems. I believe Rob Carl's gunning for the championship. Jeffrey Bell currently has the lead in terms of points. However, that has changed now with the playoffs. Everybody's at a pretty even starting field. As we see, we are now behind the pace car. What a great first stage. I can't wait to see how the second one is going to run. As soon as they go through their pit stops, I will bring up Rob Carl so we can get a nice interview with him. After a few debacles that we got to see last season, I try not to bring up these people when they're currently going in for pit stops, as there's a lot of focus going on to make sure you stop just in time. See him stop in that first stall. Okay. Gonna run through the pit stop. Stephen Black has that second one. You can see it's gonna be a real tight race off of pit road. So we bring up our pit lane information. You can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, just about absolutely everyone is in. Rob Carl's going to be the first one off pit road. Jeffrey Belk in second off of pit road. All right, I said I would. Let's go and bring up Rob Carl, or otherwise known as Big Bob Carl, and see how he's doing. Rob is over the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, Noah, how's it going?
I'm doing real well, but you must be doing even better. You won not just the stage, but you have led every single lap so far here at the Schroeder Plumbing 104.
Yeah, I'm gonna think that to some clean air.
Really? Is that what you're attributing it to?
Well, I know there's if I can get out a little bit in front of them, and dirty air is not a factor, and they get to side-by-side racing. There's really only appears to be one fast groove tonight, and then it's really hard to pass people. So if you can get out there, it's a little bit easier to stay up front than it is to try and get there.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Who are you afraid of right now behind you? I mean, we got to see Stephen Black tear through the field after he got collided into, but you were still leading for this entire time.
Everybody, it's all on the line now. It's the playoffs.
That is a very good point to make. You got a lot of blue spoilers behind you.
Yeah, the track, it's a little slick. We were in a room earlier for some practice. It was a 114-degree track temp, and that was real slick. So we're about almost 22 degrees cooler, thankfully.
Yeah, we can actually see our track temperature right now, currently at 92, which is definitely cooler than 114. Well, yeah. With that though, what has been your secret, if you don't mind sharing, aside from just the clean air with your tire saving?
Just trying not to overdrive it. Try to save that right front, protect that right front as much as I can, and try and work the car off the right rear.
All right, makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you much for your time. Rob, I do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Everybody back home. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you much for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 2 of Rob Carl running in the number 8 on accident here tonight. I think Mark Lapierre, who's actually in the 8, who we can see also running a Budweiser 8, I think would be very happy with the lead points that Rob has right now. Fresh tires for your entire group of cars. Rob Carl leading us once again off to the green. And it's going to be Jeffrey Belk alongside in the number 55, making it very interesting. Stephen Black tore through the field to get himself back up into 4th position. However, he's not alone now, and he's not even contending for the playoffs. You can see Matt Stewart there in the purple-yellow with number 34. Going to be making some moves very soon. Some kind of damage he can do just to recover anything he can. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that playoff points do not transfer for sub-drivers, so with that, that is going to be a bit of a heartbreak for Kyle Mundell there. With that, however, the pace car is pulled off down pit road. We head into the quad oval. It's green flag. Your top 3, once again, really pulling away very strong. However, that 4th place of Stephen Black is right up there with them, as they are now going to be battling to see who can get to the lead first. All pulling down to that bottom lane here on this first start. I don't blame them. You got a bit more speed on the bottom. You lose a lot of pace. Whoa, big slide there out of Paul Ems off of turn number 2 as he begins to slide really far back. He's got it under control now, but that is going to be a lot of positions he has to recover after that one. Good run on the high side for Jeffrey Bell because he's able to once again contend with Stephen Black. Rob Carl begins to take it away once again, almost 3 wide there as Brandon Fiedler has a current bid on second place against Steven. So they hope to begin to catch up to Rob in front, but how that clean air though, Rob said it makes a really big difference, and I think we can see that very clearly here. Beginning to form a single file line, just not quite there yet. Start to figure it out soon enough. Stephen Black keeping that line second position as we see Brandon Fiedler go straight up to the high side. He does not want anything to do with that bottom lane. He wants that long game only as Stephen Black takes second place. That leaves Brandon Fiedler and Jeffrey Belk, teammates right now, stuck third and fourth. They're going to have to fight their way back up to second. It's going to be quite a battle. Patrick Coluccio currently running right now in fifth position. He's got a battle with Richard Drake, though, who's on his inside, who wants to position, and let alone Matt Stewart also closing in from behind. Wes Gallo, who also seems to have figured out this track a bit more in the 07, also beginning to close in. Stephen Black is putting his bumper right to the rear there of Rob Carl in the 2/8. That 98 Premier setup, Skylord graphics machine is on the move. It looks like as soon as they get off the turn, he just does not have the run that Rob does. I mean, just the speed that Rob Carl is able to carry through this track is absolutely insane. I don't know how he does it. Coluccio now up into fourth position on the inside. He's stuck on the bottom. He's got to keep trying to push himself forward. He's now back down into fifth. That 18 Chevrolet is doing real well so far here tonight. I think he's happy to be up here and finally getting some real good points there as he's in the playoffs. He wants to stay in it as long as possible. If he can get a good run here, that puts him in better contention later on down the line. Let alone for next race, which is Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken, and then Talladega after that. That's 2 big track races coming up, both of which are going to be difficult to run. I say difficult to run, I mean very heavy in terms of strategy, I should rephrase. Stephen Black continues to try to hunt down Rob Carl as he's still in second. He just doesn't have it quite yet, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that one as we look through your field just a bit more. Matt Malavagna currently heading up in 10th place as he goes to the inside of Paul Ems. He's going to shoot for 9th. As he goes on to turn number 2. That number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet has been on a tear today. He's having a great run. Not quite able to get around Ems yet, but I think he's definitely going to be looking for it. I think he's very happy to have a good run finally. He's won some real redemption after the unfortunate race that he had at Irising Super Speedway his last time, but also last season as well, where he was running up front for a lot of the race, but just wasn't able to pull it off at the end. I think he's happy to finally be here now as it looks to the inside of Ems. I think he's going to break up into the top 9. Hallahan currently chasing behind him, though. I think he's hoping to give him a boost if he can. Moves down to the bottom. That's going to be Greg Snowgrove. He's finally got himself a new front end. I think he found himself a new fast repair somewhere. I say that, but I believe he's been in the pits for a while for that one. As we see Brady Floyd, also someone who's taking a fast repair. Whoa! Very close to the rear end there, that 22 and the 20. Currently running in 13th. Brady Floyd has not had the night I think he wants, especially for a last week race winner. Got to put a lot of pressure for it. But Brian Fradian, someone you usually see right up at the front, currently running in 14th position. Being pushed by Will Cloud right now. I mean, these guys are having a very intense race right now here in the back. However, that's where they are, the back. They want to get further forward. However, they got to get there. That looks to be a bit of a challenge right now. As Matt Malavagna has 9th position, he leads up this pack as Paul Ems looks to the inside, hoping he can take it. He's got a little bit of help from his teammate, Tyler Hallahan, behind. Looks like that high side is just going to be the place to be. Matt Malavagna breaks the top 10. Wes Gallo moves up a little bit now, up into 5th position. Patrick Coluccio up into 3rd and 4th. He loses a 3rd to Jeffrey Belk there. But the speed that Mr. Coluccio has had here tonight, I think he is very happy with. He's got to keep pushing the car forward, though, as we're starting to close in to the end. leads right now. Brandon Fiedler behind in Wes Gallo, who has returned himself back in 6th position. Mr. Gallo has in that Wii Designs 07. It's been a bit of a rough start to this race, but he's finally up here and putting real hard racing in. So I think he's trying to do that paint scheme some justice. Attention to detail is the motto. Well, this is a good time to thank our sponsors. Of course, got to thank Pierce Graphics for giving us our fantastic overlay package. I mean, they just do some real fantastic work, especially some paint schemes every now and then, but logos as well. They can do just about anything for you. That's Pierce Graphics. You can go and check them out on all their social media stuff. All access through my pages and things. You can get to them. They're a very close partner. With that, also got to give a huge thank you for sponsoring this race and our series, Schroeder Plumbing. They're a family-run company that's in business for over 50 years in southeastern Wisconsin. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders, or they will work with individuals hoping to build their home or their own remodeling. You can give them a call today with their office number at 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401. Schroeder Plumbing. Doing some fantastic work. Looks like your top three are really beginning to break away now, with Rob Carl still having the lead. He has led every single lap of this race in that number 8, technically number 2, car. I think the best part about it, though, is that there's actually the playoff banners on it, which you actually need to do in a custom paint scheme to do. So the fact that he has that, but the wrong number, is very amusing. But hey, I understand. I respect it. Still, he's got himself a great car out there, and he's having a fantastic race. However, I do believe there is a potential penalty that does come with running the wrong number. However, that is a thing I do need to look into. Stephen Black behind, though, has been able to hold on to the second place position in the 98. However, he does have a lot of pressure from Jeffrey Buck behind, who is not going to let up for a single second. However, Stephen does want the lead. You can see him now as he goes to the inside there of the 8 into the wall for almost all these guys there. That is a close one at that. A bit of a shake-up for some of them, too. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call. And this is the time. The track is hot. Everything is getting very slick. Becoming very interesting. All right, our battle forecast with our race insights provided by Pierce Graphics says within 4 laps it is going to be Stephen Black overtakes Rob Carl. We're going to have to see about that one. As you can see, that overtake difficulty is very high. These guys are incredibly competitive with each other, and it's stock car racing. These guys run very similar times. So we're going to see what they're going to be able to do. So 4 laps, that's our bet right now. Check back in on lap number 76 to see what it is once again. As we check our weather as well, 92-degree track temperature with an air temperature of 85 degrees here in Atlanta. And part of the reason that this track temperature is not as bad as it could be, and the air temperature of that too, as you can see, it's overcast, not sunny. Makes a big difference. That does. I mean, you could hear Rob Carl when we interviewed him before. That plays a really big factor. The higher the track temperature, the more slick it is. So, see how that continues to develop here, as it looks like Stephen Black finally has the pace to gun for the lead. He's done it down to the inside, doesn't have it across the line, though. That's still every lap led by Rob Carl. Now Jeffrey Belk, whoa, he takes the second place from him, and a little bit by force as well, as that kills the momentum that Mr. Stephen Black had, as he's sent back now down into 5th position. Patrick Coluccio going to take that one. Actually, no, not quite. Does not have quite the pace to get it. As Richard Drake comes in to fill the gap there in the number 41. Laker News and Kinetic. Toyota Camry coming in to make this a very interesting race, as Jeffrey Belk still has that 3rd place position. Jeff, I'm sure, was so confident. He's like, finally, I get that 2nd place back. Nope, not yet. He's going to have to fight for it. That is for sure. He won the Bristol race, finished in 2nd. Nope. Finished in 3rd. I believe, for iRacing Super Speedway. Jeff has been on a bit of a tear lately when it comes to podium positions. So we'll see what he's going to be able to do. 41 of Richard Drake still riding that bottom, hoping to get by as we're now up to lap number 76. We were watching Stephen Black before. He said within now he would get the lead, but currently he is running in 4th position. Some unfortunate circumstances there. All right, Jeffrey Belk now has that 2nd place back. He's got it. That top line is still the place to be. Looks like Richard Drake comes down to pull down into pit road. Must be on a different pit strategy there then. So he rolls down into pit road. All right, Jeffrey Belk has 2nd place right now behind Rob Carl. Take a look at our battle forecast once again. Supposedly within 3 laps, we're going to have to check. We'll check on lap 100/101. We'll see where they're going to be ending up. I have a feeling that Rob is going to be still in the lead after that one. Rob Carl has dominated this race, led every lap. Just the work he's done so far this race is absolutely impressive. Stephen Black, though, still in 3rd. He is not out of this in terms of contention just quite yet, but this is going to be a playoff upset, though. Not going to be helping any of the playoff drivers lower than him, and currently the biggest person suffering from that right now is Brian Fradian in 18th, 17th now, just got updated. However, still, that is a very unfortunate position that he has found himself in. And he's got to have to work very hard to head up forward, but actually Richard Drake now, after he was in the pits, is down that far. Matt Stewart also on the move, back up into 6th position. Oh, collision. Actually, we're just in time to watch some 3-wide action there. Matt Malavagna up in this business, currently running in 8th. Be messing with that a little bit as Matt Stewart's in 6th. Making some moves forward, some very intense racing going on here. Oh, into the wall there for the 07, collides into Paul Ems, but they've got it under control. Wes Gallo going to be falling back now. Rolling down pit road. It looks like this is the pit road time to be. Paul Ems heads down, as does Wes Gallo. How long will they stay out? Because we have not had a caution after the stage break. Currently, your lead car 1 lap down is Greg Snowgrove, currently followed by Brady Floyd in the number 20. Like I said, it poses the question, when are your leaders going to be pitting in? See that fresh tire difference that it makes. Goodbye, Greg Snowgrove, as he pulls away. And you can see them all hitting the brakes there. They're heading down pit road. Oh, and that's going to be the 8 around in pit lane. That is the lead lost for the number 8 as Matt Stewart takes the lead. He has across the line in first, though, and it's going to be Jeffrey Belk, the closest contender to him for that one. Brandon Fiedler maybe actually. See how this pit strategy goes. Some heavy damage there on the 39, though. See Rob there with that lead pit stall. As they all fill up on tires. It's going to be a close one at that. Stephen Black leaves first. He's going to be the first one out off of that one. Does not want to be caught up at all. And that's going to be Jeffrey Belk there, leaving in 7th position. We're going to see when this pit cycle continues up where we'll all be at. As Matt Stewart has the lead, and that means that not every single lap led has been done so by the 2 of Rob Carl, who's now down in 15th. He's got a recovery drive ahead of him, but he clearly does have a lot of pace there in that car. Another good thing that we're able to bring up for us is our stint information out of our guys here. Good to see. And you can see here that it's 30 laps for Matt Stewart. He's definitely going to have to pit in very soon. Brady Floyd going to be the one in 2nd on a very shorter, much shorter run of 8. Looking for a bit of an undercut there as he went in with Tyler, if I'm not mistaken. So Brady Floyd is going to be your next leader after Matt Stewart pulls in the number 34. See just the difference that it all has in terms of pit strategy. Breaking down here at the end to see where everybody is going to end up. It is a real toss-up to who is going to win this race. I won't lie, as Will Cloud, the lead car a lap down, is going to come by the 34 to get his lap back. Stephen Black is right hot on his heels. Based on the information I understand, though, it's going to be a close run, but I think Brady Floyd might just have enough fuel to make it to the end. Greg Snowgrove, though, is going to be chasing him down to the best of his ability. However, they pitted in at relatively similar times. Brady Floyd has got a huge gap ahead of him. Matt Stewart, though, staying out as he leaves turn number 2 there. Lots, though. You can see the pace difference now as we start to see Jeffrey Bilk beginning to close in behind. Pit strategy is completely shaken up and changed as you see Jeff rocket by there. That's the difference that Tires has. It is nuts. Keep in mind that Jeff has a whole load of fuel compared to the 34 there. That's the kind of difference that the tires make here at Atlanta. As Larry McGrath once said, it's like a cheese grater. It really is. I mean, these tires just get absolutely destroyed at this track. We see the number 2 of Rob Carl, though, currently running in 12th position, leading up this next pack. Got Coluccio behind him. Same with Gallo, Malavagna, Jennings, Fiedler. Big field there. He's got quite a recovery drive ahead of him still after that spin on pit road. However, he's in a pretty decent spot, and we know that he has a lot of speed in that number 2. They all become to now pass by your leader. I mean, if somehow Matt just has enough fuel to make it to the end, I know he doesn't. But if he is now pulling a Mr. Hybrid Jennings here, he's going to be in for quite a race as your cars are all rocketing on by. Take a look at our stint information once again. You can see here 35 laps. I mean, you cannot make it too much more longer than that on 25% fuel. Uh-oh, there's a huge wreck in front of him. Oh, that is a lot of cars involved. We're going to rewind and take a look at that one as the caution flies. Matt Stewart very happy with himself after that one. I can only imagine. He'll be pulling down pit road. I am sure of it. However, that is some heavy damage he has. But if he has his fast repair, he is golden. We'll be right back, though, and see just what happened. All right, we have your incident here. Let's go ahead and bring that up and see just what happened here at Atlanta. Sylvan Seguin there off of turn number 2 in the 66 Napa Chevrolet hits the wall. He tries to recover it, but just isn't fast enough. Pulls down, collides into the 8. You can see it right there. Yep. Ooh, right into the rear quarter panel. Sends him right around. Both into the wall. Heavy damage. I believe it's Markelop here slamming on the brakes, trying to avoid that one. Not too much he can do, though. Wes Gallo plows in behind Matt Malavagna as well. Collides into Gallo there. Pulls down to the bottom, though. Matt Malavagna got out of that pretty well, but the person that really avoided that, Patrick Coluccio. I mean, absolutely was able to get through that just barely. Jennings able to dodge it as well. What happened up here with Stewart, then? Ah, I see. Did not expect where everybody was going to be going. You can watch that again. You can see, actually, there was another collision between Gallo and Jennings as well. Let's see. Brakes on. Matt Stewart hits the brakes. Still collides into Seguin. Basically canceling each other's momentum out. Well, Ben, it's good to see you out here. I know, Rex, as soon as you join, sorry, they got to... That's the thing you come to, but hey, that's racing for you. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a very intense race here at the end. Not too much left to go at all. Richard Drake currently set to be your leader with Greg Snowgrove behind. Matt Stewart down into 12th. Still in pit road. I think he had a tow. Just makes that much more heartbreaking for him. He's up towards the front, doing real well, and just gets denied. Your entire field shaken up, though, by that very interesting pit strategy we're at. Yeah, I understand the agony there, Kyle. Getting knocked out like that absolutely hurts, and we're going to have to see what happens. Hopefully that tow, it won't be too much longer, that's for sure. Jeffrey Bell currently running in 6th position. He's been in 2nd for a majority of this race. Got a bit of a drive ahead of him. Rob Carl, who has been leading a majority of this race, currently stuck in 15th. He's going to be going around the pace car. Someone that's had, I don't think, the night they want is here, the number 20, Brady Floyd. He's had a very interesting race so far. I think he wants to be doing better. However, as I think as we know, it's a very difficult run here at Atlanta. But he was able to win last week. We're going to see how that continues to run here. Tyler Hallahan up into 5th position in the number 88, ready to make some moves. Finally up into a competitive position up here at this race. It's been a while. Same with Brian Fradian, though, who's been in towards the rear for a lot of this race. As he's finally up at the front, I think he's ready to tear with that Steve Parks game. And yes, Ben, I do agree. All the throwbacks so far have been absolutely fantastic out of these guys. As the lights on the pace car roll out, it's going to be Richard Drake and Greg Snowgrove taking the front 2 positions. Keep in mind, though, that all these guys have different tire wears, I think, unless they were able to save tires. Let's see. Yep. See a whole bunch of different ones up there. Pretty similar for a lot of them, though. I think Richard Drake's going to get a good start, and then Stephen Black is going to be the one that takes probably the lead not long after. Maybe Jeffrey Bell can come in, but I don't know if he has just enough on that. Brady Floyd, though, with absolutely probably fresh tires, or at least enough fuel to make it to the end. Be making this race very interesting. 18th to the lead. Quite a move there for Richard Drake. He's got a lot of defending to do, though. Let's see what he can do. The Season 1 Championship car there, driven by Greg Snellgrove, the Morgan's Transportation 22. As we watch now, the Iverson O'Connell pace truck pulls off here at Atlanta. We head into the restart zone. It's green flag. Not too bad in terms of tire spin. I was expecting a lot worse. They got it under control now as they head into turn number 1. Richard Drake off to a real good start there. Greg Snellgrove just doesn't have the grip, as the bottom is the place to be for now. Brian Fradian brings up 3rd position. Jeffrey Belk already on the move, currently in 4th. Won't be too much longer. There he is. Belk takes 3rd. Stephen Black riding that white line there on the paint. Looks to the inside of Drake. He's got hair fresher tires. I think it's going to be enough. Stephen Black out to the lead. How long will Stephen Black have it, though? And can he hold on to it for the entire time? Or can Richard Drake even catch back up? That is going to be the question. Stephen Black has made quite a recovery drive back out to the front. He's glad to be up there, I am sure of it. Brady Floyd on absolutely fresh tires, though, coming in to make the difference happen. Greg, that is going to be now Jeffrey Belk up into 2nd position. He's made it through. Brady Floyd as well, making his tear in the 20. He's got fresh tires. He looks to the inside now of the 55. Can Brady Floyd dethrone Stephen Black and get 2 in a row? Not too many laps left. He doesn't have to worry about tires at all. It's 6 to go. Black still has the lead. Brady takes 2nd. It is going to be a very close one. You can watch that relative on the left-hand side of your screen absolutely begin to disappear. We're going to head onto the inside of Brady Floyd and see what it's like currently in his position. Looking to the inside of Steven. Can he take it? He's got it. He's on the bottom. Running the quad over. This is what it's like here at Atlanta. Those high banks. It's going to be even higher. More interesting now going forward in real life. Changes soon to reflect, I'm sure, here on iRacing. He takes the bottom. That's Brady Floyd out to the lead. Stephen Black in second. Very, very bumpy track here at Atlanta, as you can tell. What a position to be in. Coming in, he's been at the rear the entire time. What a turnaround here in these last few laps. It's 3 to go. Brady Floyd has way fresher tires than just about everybody else and is currently running away with it. Patrick Coluccio running in 4th position. I believe this is a season high so far as he looks to the inside there of Jeffrey Bell. Can he do it? Patrick Coluccio going to be running in 3rd. Very close there between Belk and Coluccio. He's got the bottom. It's all for the marbles. I think Patrick knows that, as does Jeff. This is going to be quite the race now. 2 to go. It's 99 of 100. The Schroeder Plumbing 154 has turned into something very special here at the end. Coluccio has 3rd. It's going to be a battle between these two. Belk has the inside now. Whoa, almost touching there as they go through 3. This is allowing Stephen Black to get some space ahead of them. The 2 playoff drivers behind. It's going to be 2 non-playoff drivers taking the white. Can they win it, though? 2 non-playoff drivers finishing 1st and 2nd. And then your playoffs beginning afterwards. Big playoff run from 3rd back down to 8th. Patrick Coluccio has 3rd position over Jeffrey Belk. It's going to require quite a run. He's got a bit of gap ahead before he gets to Steven. Can Patrick Coluccio close in just in time? That is the question they have to ask as Brady Floyd goes through the quad oval and takes a checkered flag. Brady Floyd wins this race. It's a Ford for the 2nd time, winning in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Brady Floyd takes it. Stephen Black in 2nd. Coluccio takes 3rd position. He's going to be absolutely loving this interview. I can absolutely feel it. Jeffrey Belk in 4th. Richard Drake finishes 5th. Got all 3 manufacturers up here in your top 5. What a race. Some big burnouts I'm expecting from these guys as Brady Floyd burns it down. Patrick Coluccio out here probably going to as well. Big burnout for Brady Floyd there. Very well earned. Congratulations to him for 2 weeks in a row. And I'm here thinking that this is going to be a bad race for him. He comes in with the golden strategy right at the end to take it away. Absolutely impressive for the number 20 in all the Adra. Congratulations to them. And Patrick Coluccio getting the 3rd place finish. I'm sure he's excited about it. Cody Snyder up in the top 10. What a race. This did not end the way I thought it was going to. That is for sure. Wow. What a race. With that, though, let's go and bring up our 3rd place finisher, Patrick Coluccio. I can only imagine the excitement he has right now as Brady continues to burn it down just a little bit there. We'll keep the camera on him. There you go, Brady. All right, 3rd place finisher, Patrick Coluccio. Let's bring him up, the number 18. There it goes. Patrick's open the booth. Do you read me?
What's up, man?
You're finally up here with a 3rd place finish. How does it feel?
That's well earned, man. You know, that was, oh man, that was incredible. I don't even know what to say. I'm so like ecstatic. I'm shaking actually. That was awesome. That race with Jeff was incredible. I thought I was gonna get caught up in that. I missed 2 wrecks there. The one coming on the pit road there for the green flag stops, and the one with Sylvan and Rob. That was just, oh my God. Steve was like, come on, just go, get it, man, come on.
You were able to take third away. I mean, you really did put on quite the race against Jeffrey Belk there at the end. It was impressive to watch. Kyle Mandel wants to let you know that you are the man.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. Yeah, Jeff. It was tough getting by Jeff in the first half, and I knew I had to do something. At the end of the first stage, I tried throwing a slider on him again, but I just didn't have the momentum, and I knew I had to get something going in the 1 and 2 there to get up high and get the run off of 3 and 4, and that was what I did.
I mean, the way it worked out was so well in your favor. I mean, this is your time. What do you got to say?
This is. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, Greg's been helping us out, and he was, it is. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm speechless, really.
Well, the thing I have to say to you is congratulations for it. How are you going to celebrate?
I'm gonna go bust Jeff's balls out. A dirt guy just beat him on a pavement race.
I think he's definitely going to appreciate that. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick,
Oh.
thank you for your time. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car?
I gotta thank, Wes for painting this bad boy. This is a car that was special to me. This is Bob the Bonnie's track back in the day. One of my favorite drivers' car. I gotta thank Greg, Tyler, Paul. They really, we practiced and we tried different things out, and Greg's really good at giving pointers. I gotta thank the guys at ADM, Cody Goose, Skyler, Fernie, Steve, Glover, Doak, Johnson, Dirt Co, Highline Racing. I'm missing a whole bunch here. Loud Raps. Man, so many things. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. This is a first. This is well deserved. Wow.
It absolutely is.
Oh,
Patrick, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on the podium finish. Celebrate well.
thanks, Noah.
Number 18, Patrick Coluccio finishes in third place. Let's go and bring up your second place finisher, Steven Wins Too Much Black. Steve, it's open the booth. Do you read me?
I got you now.
Second place you were able to get after quite the eventful race. How many times was it that you got doored into and had to run down the banking? 3?
I think it was only twice, but I don't know if I was racing people close because I mean you get stuck on the bottom and the high side was just too good. I probably didn't give enough room through the quad oval, but it hurt me more than it hurt the other people. But I'm just glad I didn't get severely damaged from any of those 2 incidents.
Yeah, I mean, the recovery drive that you were able to pull on both times, I mean, absolutely incredible. You're not even a playoff driver, and here you are finishing in second place, able to come back and just put on a great show.
Yeah, when me, Rob, and Jeff went in the pit, those 2 got into each other, and I knew that I would have a pretty good advantage if I had a good stop, and I came out and thought we were in a good position to win it, and that late caution came out, and I think I'm gonna end up selling my second home in the infield at Atlanta because I didn't perform all too well here tonight. So yeah, there's that.
Hey, I mean, you say you didn't perform all too well. You're here at second place after several recovery drives. I mean, that's still impressive.
Yeah, it's a fun track. I like running here. It was really tight tonight for me. I know some people were saying it was loose, but it was really hard to pass, especially on older tires. And it seemed like Rob would get out to a pretty big lead every time because people behind him would start racing each other, and he would just pull away. And I figured I would have to send it at the beginning of a run to try to get in front of him, and I almost did it maybe once or twice, but just didn't play out like I wanted it to at the end. And congrats to Brady for sticking with it out on the track. I know that it was pretty terrible to drive for any longer than 10 laps tonight, and he was out there for a pretty long time waiting on that caution, and he got it when he needed it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, an impressive run by him, but still a great thing. And Steven, thank you much for being up here. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Shout out to Premier Racing Setups, Skylord Graphics, Black Hill Farms, Trace Fishing, Wetsu, Shout out to you and Greg. I haven't run here very much this season, but I try to. I just get busy with work and don't feel like racing at all here lately. So I figured I would run tonight though, because I love Atlanta and I know it's been a while since I raced over here, so it was fun to get back up with you guys.
I know that each of us out here appreciates it too. Any kind of people we can get out here, especially ones that make up a big part of the community, it's all a great thing. So, Steven, thank you once again for being up here. I appreciate it, and congrats on the second place finish.
Yep, thank you.
Steven Black in the number 98, able to take home a second place. With that, though, we're going to be interviewing now your race winner, the number 20, Brady Floyd. I'm going to bring him up in just a moment. Let's see if we can get him. Brady, step in the booth. Be a read me.
Got a copy?
2 weeks in a row for a non-playoff driver. How does it feel?
Pretty amazing, to be honest. Definitely didn't think showing up with no practice we'd end up here. Definitely didn't think starting in the back after we crashed in qualifying we'd be here. Didn't think we'd be here after a lap 7 wreck under green, losing a faster pair and a lap. But I guess I can be thankful for all that, because had that not happened, I wouldn't have had a set of tires saved. Even after wrecking under green and the caution that came out later, saved a set until all the way to the stage. Didn't think I was going to be able to make my way back through the field, but I guess the caution came at the perfect time for us. So, again, don't feel too deserving of it, but made the right strategy call, or kind of got forced into the right strategy call and ended up here. So, very happy.
I get it. I mean, I've been saying this entire time. I mean, you've just had quite the race, all over the place, and just never really where you want to be. But all of a sudden, here you are at the last caution, suddenly up here in the top 5, and then there you are with brand new, fresh tires, soaring by everybody. I mean, even though it was kind of a forced strategy call, absolutely incredible timing.
Yeah, we'll say lucky on the strategy, great on the timing. I mean, gotta thank everybody for racing me cleanly. I mean, we had pace. I don't think I had enough pace to go from last to first without a lot of help. So.
Well, you got some fans here cheering you on. I know Ben is happy for you, as is Jesse.
Well, thank you to everybody for watching and supporting the stream.
What do you have to think for such a great race car here tonight, Brady?
Well, I'd like to thank Jesse for cheering me on. He kept me company in there. Don't really have any teammates specifically from tonight to thank, but got to thank the sponsors, Four Cloak Media. You're doing a great job with broadcasting and all the Instagram and everything going on there. I'd also like to thank Pierce Graphics and, of course, Adria Esports. Jesse said I had to show some love for Donk, so thank you to him, too.
Brady, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on your second win in a row.
Yep, thank you so much. And I don't know, I showed up last second. Sorry for not having a throwback paint scheme in, but if there was any sponsor for this race of the league, Schroeder Plumbing, thank you to those guys as well. Make sure they get their shout-outs.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Brady. I know everyone out here appreciates it. So, congratulations once again.
Yep, have a good one.
Number 20 of Brady Floyd, able to secure himself the race win. Absolutely incredible. Yes, lots of donks out there. I see there from Jesse. Yep. Still, absolutely incredible timing just for that to work out perfectly. But a third place finish for Patrick Coluccio. I'm sure he is still absolutely shaking from that one. I don't blame him. A great run out of all these guys. Unfortunate for drivers like Rob Carl, though, especially him, because he had such a great run. Led almost every single lap up until I think it was 60-something. Still, absolutely incredible that he was able to last that long all the way up straight at the front. So, what a great race. Thank you to absolutely everyone that has joined us here tonight at Atlanta for the Schroeder Plumbing 154. Thank you to all of our sponsors, including Pierce Graphics, Schroeder Plumbing, and everybody else that helps bring our fantastic thing together, such as Atlanta Carrier and BTT. Schroeder Plumbing is a family-run company that has been in service for over 50 years in the southeastern Wisconsin area. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders, and they will work with individuals hoping to build their dream home and do their own remodeling. Got to give a huge thank you out to them. You can give them a call. You can give them a call anytime over at 262-971-0401. That number once again is 262-971-0401. Schroeder Plumbing. With that, that is the end of our race here. 101 laps we did, not just well, no, 100. It gets a little bit weird on the counting sometimes and stuff, but regardless. Still, thank you to absolutely everyone that's been out here. I know I appreciate it. I think everybody here is ready for a good old nap after that one. And we'll see y'all next time at Indianapolis, where it's going to be a nice, great race. Have a great one, and thank you once again for tuning all in.